So what does the power law tell us, right? The power law tells us that statistically, we're right in the middle of the network, middle of the trend line at around 70,000, and that theoretically, by the end of this year, we should be closer to 100,000, maybe 90,000 in terms of the trend line. But we could go up 2 standard deviations above that. And that roughly could take us either to 200,000 or even exceptionally to 400,000, right? Even in this year, it's possible, right? Now, if you look at going out one more year, we could be at, let's say, 140,000 trend line, and 140,000 trend line. And if we go 1 or 2 standard deviations above that, we could get to something like 600,000. That would be on a blowout kind of move. I think we are going to have a blowout move. And I don't know if it's next year or the year after, but I think that, I've said that I think that we could really see a high in around 500 to 600,000 this cycle.
Fed Krueger believes that by extrapolating the Bitcoin power law model and analyzing Bitcoin ETF flows, we could theoretically see Bitcoin reach $400,000 per coin by the end of the year. Extending this projection to the end of 2025, Bitcoin could potentially hit $600,000. However, Krueger cautions that this would be a dramatic move, one he does believe will occur. For those unfamiliar with Fed Krueger, he is a highly successful entrepreneur, investor, and mathematician with a PhD from Stanford. After decades of experience on Wall Street, Krueger has fully committed to Bitcoin. Using his mathematics background, he has identified that Bitcoin is following a power law, which is statistically very rare. Krueger believes that this power law, combined with the increasing flow of money into Bitcoin ETFs, could drive a significant price surge. Stay tuned until the end of the video where Krueger breaks down the inflows into Bitcoin ETFs compared to gold ETFs and explains why this indicates that Bitcoin is poised to rise sharply.
Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
If you want to debate whether some version of the power law or some other statistical modeling thing is accurate, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm really only here because I want to make money. And so I think it's pretty unlikely that we go down much from here over the next 2 years. And I think it's pretty likely that we at least double over the next 2 years. And those are really great odds. So to me, I think this is basically, that's pretty much all I want to get out of the power law. And I'm not trying to win any mathematical, contest here about this. I do love some of the work that Plan C has put out, and Sins and others, and Giovanni. These are all very interesting to me, intellectually. But at the end of the day, the real thing that interests me is just making money. So, knowing that my big bet on Bitcoin is or giving me the confidence that my big bet on Bitcoin is accurate. So that's kind of where I am. I'm a little more simple-minded than others. And, I think in the end, it really is a question of going big on something you like. And it's kind of that, I put that tweet out about a guy that I knew in New York, and this guy actually, he worked for Soros for a while. He was an analyst, and then he became a risk taker for Soros and other, I can't really tell you the other name of the firms that might give him away, but very interesting guy. And his entire, he played around in all kinds of things, right? He was a seed investor in Salesforce, for example, but really all his money was made on Intel. And so I think that really tells you something. And I think here again, this is going to be a big move. I think it's really going to be how not just if you're right by Bitcoin, but how big you are. Did you get in with one Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin, or 1,000 Bitcoin, right? So I think size really matters here, and yeah, and so I think this is. I really just want to get more confidence, not more confidence, but I just want to continue to get my confidence up, and that's really what interests me. It's taken Bitcoin exactly 5 months to reach $15 billion in net inflows, and it took gold almost 5 years to reach the same level. So I thought we'd take a look at this and we'd sort of talk about the potential price impact. Okay, we had these $15 billion that came into the gold ETF starting in November, I think, of 2004. And all the way up, if you look at the peak, which was, back in November 2011, that's the peak of the gold price. We basically did a 4x in terms of gold price, okay? And we did a 4x over a period of, let's call it 7 years. But, it took 5 years to get to the inflows. And then the inflows were just treaded water and went down and went back up again. So we had basically we had a doubling of the price of gold initially on these inflows, and then we had a subsequent doubling on no inflows, right? Now, if we look at the price of Bitcoin versus gold, we've now had that exact doubling in price, but compressed in 5 months. And we've had the flows compressed in 5 months instead of 5 years, right? So should we expect something bigger? I think so, because at the time that we had these inflows in the gold market, the market cap of gold was about 2.6 trillion. Now it's about 15 trillion, but it went about 2.6 trillion and it quadrupled. So I think we should expect, just from the flows we've already had, I think we should have expected something much bigger. So I think, we should be already at Bitcoin 200,000 just off of those flows. This movement is not at all over, unlike gold. There's going to be a lot more flows into Bitcoin. As the gold market proved, once this thing really got going, the flows didn't even need to keep up. The gold price kept on going. It just kind of overshot. So I think all of this really tells you that there's a lot of reason to believe that the next couple of years, the next 2, 3, 4 years are going to be extraordinarily good for Bitcoin. And, it's not doing anything right now, but, this game is played over years, not months.
So, there's Fed Krueger explaining why Bitcoin could potentially reach $400,000 by the end of this year and $600,000 by the end of 2025. His projections are based on the Bitcoin Power Law model and the ETF inflows observed so far. Krueger's insights, combining mathematical expertise with extensive Wall Street experience, provide a compelling case for Bitcoin's future. If you found his breakdown of Bitcoin ETF inflows versus gold ETF inflows intriguing, stay tuned for more. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.